We have a special guest with us today. We got our boy, our guy, P5. At this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let him go ahead and introduce himself and tell him a little bit about himself. Parker, take it away, man.
What's going on? I'm Parker Friedrichsen here. I'm a senior at Bixby High School. Been going through this journey for a while now and, just enjoying every bit of it. But I'm excited to talk a little bit today with him.
Parker, so first question I have on the table is, when did you first start playing basketball? Walk us through your journey.
I first started playing the YMCA leagues when I was three or four. And ever since then, it's been about basketball. I loved it ever since I started, and around 8th, 9th grade, I knew I had a chance, so I really put the pedal down then. But yeah, ever since I can remember, and I've never stopped loving it. So
okay, question: what was that moment? Right, that moment in basketball. You said you put the pedal down by 8th, 9th grade. What was that moment in basketball when you realized, man, I can be really good at this?
My 8th and 9th grade year, I grew a lot. I grew, I think, 5 inches. And so I was like, you know what, I think Colorado State was the first school to call me. And I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can, I really got to grind. I know I'm against some odds, but I can do this. So I hit that point going into freshman year. I was like, I am going to do this.
Okay. How much time would you say you put into basketball back then versus how much time you put in now?
It doesn't even compare. I mean, I would for sure say 8th, 9th grade, I would go into practice and just be like, all right, I'm going to go a little early, shoot a little bit, and then I'm going to, I'm going to go after practice a little bit. But, it was just practice. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I start traveling a little bit, playing these games, and you see the national competition, you're like, it takes way more than that.
Yeah.
So I would say now versus then, it's probably triple, quadruple.
Okay.
Just because it's beyond basketball. It's eating right, lifting, consistency. So
yeah.
I would say though, it's definitely changed. It used to be practice, but it definitely takes way more than that.
Okay. What is a typical day? Walk me and everybody else that's viewing through a typical day and what it looks like.
So I'm doing online school for this reason basically, and so I wake up, take my sister to school, which is probably 7 o'clock, and I have a workout at 7:15. So we're on the court at 7:15. I go home, go to class, and then eat a little bit, and then do school if I need to or whatever. Then I'll come back up, shoot a little bit on the gun, just get some form shooting up, just some rhythm shots, and then I will kind of hang out a little bit till practice. I'll go to practice, and then I'll get another skill workout in after practice, and then kind of hang out the rest of the night, see how it goes. But it's definitely actually during the day I'll lift probably around noon.
Okay.
A couple workouts to lift, eating right, school. So.
Okay. What would you say the biggest surprise? Like if somebody that doesn't know who you are, right? Somebody don't know who you are when it comes to your game. What would you say the biggest surprise that they would see? Because I know you. I've been knowing you just like we talked about before we got started. I've been knowing you since you were little. Right. So I've seen the progression. So right. I'm one of the rare ones that's seen you grow from who you were to who you've become.
Right.
But what would you say that somebody is one myth about your game that when people come see, they'd be like, wow, he really can do that?
Yeah, I hear a lot of times that he's just a shooter. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I'm playing more of that scoring point guard role. So I feel like the wow in me is I can create for my teammates. I can get up off the ground. I'll make the right play. I'm going to get everybody involved. Because, I grew up, you saw me play. I never dribbled the ball. I just shot.
No.
And I came off screens.
Came off 2 or 3 screens.
Yeah, right. So I would just dribble. I would never dribble. I would just shoot. But I feel like, now I'm more of that point guard role. People know he can handle the ball under pressure. He can go dunk on a fast break. He's not just a shooter. So I feel like that's been the wow is, I'm becoming more of a complete point guard.
Okay. So now let's change the tides a little bit and talk about currently, as far as recruitment wise. Who all is recruiting you right now?
Yeah, so I recently put out top 5, and it was Northwestern, Nebraska, Rice, Davidson, Notre Dame, and It's been good. I mean, I've took a visit to every school except for Rice, and
Okay.
and so yeah, it's been good. I mean, just with these five now, it just comes down to building the best relationships with them, and getting out. My family, we go on these visits and see what's best, and but it's been fun. I mean, down to those five schools, my phone slowed down a little bit,
Okay.
but no, it's been fun. It's been really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. What? Why those five schools? Of all, what is it about those five schools that stood out?
Yeah, I mean, mainly first and foremost is the relationship I have with them. Most of these schools have been in my process for a while now. But I feel like with all five of those schools, they're all good academics as well as basketball. Like they're all big time basketball schools, but they all can have a degree that can set me up for after. So I feel like that was pretty important for me and my family, especially my parents, because they want me to be successful off the court. So those five, man, they're all really good fits. I could really thrive in each one of their systems. But
Okay.
I would feel like I would just say that those five is just the best of both worlds, including academics and basketball.
Okay. Assuming basketball ends, let's say ends when you're 27, 28 years old. What's next? What happens next? And the reason why I asked this specific question is because a lot of times kids get just focused on basketball, right?
Right.
And with them getting just focused on basketball, what ends up happening is they go through this depression period or this period to where it's like, dang, what's next? Because my identity is in basketball.
Right.
So I noticed that you talked about the educational piece.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me. What's your plans whenever basketball ends? If it ends when you're 27, 28, if it doesn't end until you're 40, like what's next? What
Right.
comes next?
So I mean, obviously the main goal, I want to play as long as I can, right? But I do understand that it's going to stop. To your point, and so I think for me, I want to go into some type of like sports management business in college and kind of go that route. But for me, I want to build relationships through basketball that set me up for after, whether it be getting into coaching or working for a team or something. But I definitely want to stay around the game. But it's on me to kind of get through those doors and build those relationships. So I would say that's the biggest thing for me. Just talk to everyone. You don't know who knows who, and so just build that relationship and then get into something with basketball. Stay around the
Okay.
game.
Next question I would have for you, because you talked about building relationships. Where did you get that mindset from? Because that's not something that every basketball player goes around talking about.
Right.
Majority of basketball players, like I said, it's just about basketball. I want to go as far as I can. They don't talk about building relationships.
Right.
Once it's over with, if we be honest, a lot of basketball players struggle with the next because they don't do a good job of building relationships. So where'd that mindset come from?
I mean, I can for sure say I've had a really strong circle of support behind me that's always guiding me and giving me advice here and there, like just life advice. And to your point, the biggest life advice I probably got is you don't know who they know or who knows who. Like I just said, you just talk to everyone. Everyone knows somebody, and just get your foot in the door. Be respectful to people. So yeah, I mean, I understand basketball's going to end, so that's why you got to kind of build those connections and kind of get yourself out there and just talk to everybody.
Okay. Who do you model your game after?
Man, so I get this question a lot. I would probably say number one, I don't really model my game, but I will say I watch a lot of Steph. I love Buddy Hield, Trae Young because he's from Oklahoma. Those are probably the top three if I had to tell you.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, I just watch a lot of basketball, watch a lot of film. See what I can do better on film and kind of see what these guys are doing. But probably majority Steph, just because not even just his shooting and stuff, just the way he moves, the way he reads screens and his pace and his timing and how he moves without the ball, just all the little stuff beyond scoring, because we all know all three of those guys can score. But Trae can really pass and sees the floor, and Buddy can do all of it. And so yeah, I definitely look for certain things, not just scoring. So.
Okay. So now take me through each player and tell me what is it that of each player that you're like, I do this like this player, I do this like that player, I do this, I want to do this, or if I don't, you want to take this particular aspect of their game and put it in your game.
Yeah, I mean with Steph, I would say I feel like I can score kind of at each level like he can. I can get to the mid-range, layups, threes, whatever. But what I want to be able to do like him is just be in the shape that he's in, be able to just constantly move and get open shots and screen for my teammates and stuff like that. With Trey, I mean, I feel like I'm getting better, but more of that point guard role, just seeing the whole floor, kind of controlling the tempo, handling the pressure, but being able to come off screens and just shoot ball screens. And then Buddy Hield, obviously, he's been a really good shooter and had a really good career at OU. Just watching him, like his creativity, like the way his shot pockets, his, how he's shooting, like what feet, just little stuff like that.
Okay. So now let's turn it a little bit. In regards to training, who has helped you? Give me 3 people who's helped you the most as far as developing your game, and why? Why have they helped you the most?
Well, number one, I gotta give a huge shout out to Austin Wright. He played here, went to Missouri Southern, but he won't ever tell you guys this, but he should be overseas playing right now, but he had some injuries, but he went out to LA and learned a bunch and trained with pros, and then he brought it back here. And not just me, like, my teammates and everyone who he trains, but he's probably been the most beneficial guy I've been working with, just because, one, he's turned into my older brother, but two, everything we do translates and it's for a purpose, and it makes sense, and all the spacing's right, the dribbles are right. And he was a shooter himself, so we do a lot of shooting. We do, but he's a skill development guy. So everything we're doing is we're sharpening just everything. It starts simple. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's all simple stuff. You come watch a workout, you'll be like, this is what he works on.
Yeah.
But we master that. And then we build out from that. So I would say him. We go every day. We go 2 times a day. And that's my guy. He's taken my game to another level without a doubt.
So before you continue, I want to highlight something.
Yeah.
A lot of times guys don't realize that the pros have mastered the fundamentals, and that's what you do.
No doubt, yeah. Simple.
So it doesn't take a whole lot to master. It's just the simple things.
Yeah.
You see these videos and you watch them, and they're doing these super creative drills, but that's not you. You've pretty much said that it's the little things.
Right, no doubt. And with Austin, he'll tell you. It's just like it's not much. It's just we start with ball handling. We do 2-ball, and we do basic stuff. We get activated, and then we'll go into finishes and different. Like, they're pretty creative, but you got to master the simple first before you get creative. And but it all translates. You won't see a single cone in our drill, our workouts. It's all for a purpose. And a couple of times a week we'll go live and implement what we've been working on. But yeah, so he's definitely took my game to another level. He deserves a lot of credit. And he coached. I don't know if you noticed, but he's a kind of an assistant on our team as well.
I do.
So he helps our other guys out as well. Like, a lot of guys don't have that trainer, but he'll pop in a few times a week and put them through stuff, and it really helps them out, and people like being around him. So that's I feel like one of the most important things.
Okay. So who else? Austin's hands down number 1. Who else? Who else is?
I would say the person who got my game started training him 5-6 years old, Coach Calvert.
Okay. Coach Dan. Yeah, I know Coach Dan. We call him the OG in this area.
So I went to him and Marcus Hall, who worked with him as well. But those two, he got my game started. Obviously I was 6 years old, going to him every week till I was probably, I don't know, 12 or 13 maybe. And we went every week. It was just a consistency. And he saw something in me at 6-7 years old. I think told my dad, a couple weeks into training, I'd be a college basketball player, and so he definitely believed in me. He stuck with me. I kept it consistent. I went every week for years, and it was good for me. He definitely got my game started. I would say, we worked on shot mechanics early, and I wasn't even able to shoot on 10 feet yet, but we're still working on good form and stuff like that. So him for sure. Obviously, I don't go there anymore, but we keep in touch, and I keep in touch with Marcus a little bit as well. But those two really helped me kind of take my game and knew I could build something with it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then lastly, probably my dad. He's not much of a trainer, but he knows. Obviously, he comes every game. He sees what I can do better. He sees what I'm doing well, but nothing's ever good enough for him. So I'll
typical dad. Yeah.
So, but no, I like it though. We go to the gym and he'll beat me up a little bit, but it's good for me. I mean, he knows what I can work on. Obviously, he knows me probably better than anybody. So, he sees little stuff here and there that maybe Austin wouldn't see or maybe somebody else would see. But, he gets me through a good workout. He knows, what I should be doing. And off the court as well. I mean, he can tell me, when I can be a better leader and when I could, have better body language and stuff, which is all stuff I work on all the time. But, it never, I mean, I'm never too, good enough for anybody. So I'm always going to listen to, obviously, him, but anybody that tells me that stuff. So probably those three mainly. Obviously, there's been a huge circle of support I've had. I've been super fortunate to have everyone that's came along. And I know I've missed a lot of people out, but, it definitely took a group, but it's been really successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question I have. Who do you get your talent and athletic ability from? Mom or dad?
Oh, definitely mom. Definitely mom.
Okay.
No.
So tell me and tell the people about your mom.
Well, I think mom played softball. I'm not for sure, but she was athletic. Dad was a college golfer, but no, Dad will like to hear that one. But no, but it's been cool. We argue about it all the time, so that's funny you ask.
Yeah. Next question in regards to family. Who's the best shooter in the family?
Gotta be me. Okay. Until the day I die.
I don't know, man. I heard one of your twin brothers can light it up too.
Now, Luke, the lefty, he can shoot, but I got too much pride. He'll never get me. He'll never get me. And Dad thinks he can shoot too, but he can't. So he's a post player.
Okay. Do you and your dad ever play 1-on-1?
No, he doesn't play me. He's scared. He's scared.
Okay. Now you know he gonna hear this eventually.
Oh yeah, you're scared. You're scared.
Okay. What another question I would have is in regards to dunking. When did you get your first dunk?
Probably my first in-game dunk was my sophomore year, first game at Jinx.
Okay.
And I'm a 1 foot guy.
Yeah.
And it was off two with two hands at Jinx. So I was feeling good, and I remember it like it was yesterday. But I would say on the dunking aspect, I really took off during COVID. Okay. So I mean, I couldn't even touch a rim before COVID started.
And, wow. Okay.
Obviously, we couldn't get any gyms. And we were doing workouts in the garage and stuff like that. And I would just be Googling and what I could do. And I reached out to my college buddies that were in college, like what they do. And so I stuck with it. I really wanted to dunk. I've been wanting to dunk ever since I can remember. Yeah. And I really just took off. And now growing a little bit helped, but. Sophomore year, and then ever since then it's been
okay. Yeah, I was a 1 foot dunker myself, so I'm with you. Like you get that 2 foot punch, you be like, oh my goodness.
I'm definitely still working on both. I mean, I feel like they're both necessary. Obviously, I mean, different angles, different times of the game, but so it's good.
Yeah. So have you actually posted somebody yet?
I have not. I have tried, and I've tried, but I've not.
Okay.
But I'm going to.
Okay. So can we go on and say that before the end of the 2022-23 season, you're gonna get at least one posted? Can we guarantee that?
Yes, you can guarantee that. I will for sure have one.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna remember that. We're gonna remember that.
Yes,
remember. Next question I would have is as far as your best performance in high school, and why was that considered your best performance?
Oh, that's tough. So obviously, I got a few that come to mind. Probably the first one I can think of is we're in a towel call tournament, and I was rolling. I think I was shooting like 60% from three in the first 2 games. And tournaments are 3 games in high school, or whatever. We get to the championship game, and this is sophomore year, and we get to the championship game, and I had 38. Against Muskogee, and I played really, really well. And I think 2 nights later, that was when I got my first scholarship offer. So definitely, I feel like that one really kind of set the tone for the season, especially sophomore year. But I would say last year I had a couple 40-point games. Those were fun. But most memorable, I mean, I think. Obviously, the playoff games are pretty intense, so I feel like playing well in those games are a must. And I remember a few of those big performances, but I would say the most memorable one is probably I had 40 here on Broken Arrow last year.
Okay.
And I don't really remember the score. We didn't win, but it was definitely memorable.
You definitely kept him in the game. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you definitely kept him in the game.
Yeah.
Another question I would have, because every scorer, right, has that one defender
Yeah.
that when you go against him, you're like, even if I get 20, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a tough 20 tonight.
Yeah.
For me, it's a kid by the name of Marvin Woods in college.
Okay.
I hated going against him.
Yeah.
For you, who's that guy that not saying that they'll necessarily slow you down, but it's like, I'm gonna have to work to get my points tonight.
Yeah. Definitely last year was Javante Campbell at Muskogee. I hated going against him.
Yeah.
Like I would get mine, but I would dread playing against him.
Yeah.
Because he's you know how he plays. And
Yeah.
But
He-
I mean,
y'all
each-
have similar builds. He's
Yeah.
kind of a little bit athletic,
Correct,
and kind of
yeah.
long and lanky.
And another one that was kind of in that same category was Aaron Johnson. He at BA.
Okay, BA, yeah.
Just
Yep.
quicker guard. But for me, I don't really like. I want obviously the other team's best player every night.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna try to give him a long night if
Yeah.
I can. But I like that though. I expect it. I know two's coming at some point.
Yes.
But I take on that challenge, and I know I'm not gonna let my opponent stop me, because I know then that starts a bunch of talk. So
Yeah.
I know the other side of it. So I try to give him a tough night.
Yeah. Okay. For you, what's realistic for the end of this year, as far as your team wise?
So as a team, I'm actually really excited to get going this year, because we graduated a few seniors last year, obviously, but we returned most of our scoring, and we got older. And we're gonna be more experienced. So a lot of the younger guys that haven't got a bunch of burn will get some this year, and a lot of our guys played summer ball. They got that experience this summer. They went out and played. So we have a really competitive team. It hasn't really been like that in years past, but guys want to win. Practices so far have been really good.
Okay.
Coach Kite, he doesn't get enough credit. People don't really know the story of how he's our coach, and we all love him, and we love playing for him, showing up every day for him. We want to win for him, so we're excited. It's obviously my last year, so I'm definitely not going out short.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to take on the challenge of leading our guys and showing them what's right, what's wrong, and
Yeah.
holding them up when things aren't going right, because I've probably been through pretty much everything that they're going to go through. So really just keeping our guys level-headed, but at the same time, we want to win for Coach Kite and for ourselves. So we're gonna have a good year. I think we're gonna surprise some people.
Okay.
Because we've been working hard. We're older. We're better. So we're gonna get
Bixby being known as a football school, right?
Mhm.
But y'all have a pretty good basketball team.
right.
Has the crowd showed y'all as much love as they've shown the football team? Because I know in the past I've talked to players and they have really good basketball teams. They're like, oh man, they don't give a dang about us.
Yeah.
All they care about is football.
Yeah.
So talk to me.
Obviously here at Bixby, we're a national powerhouse at football. There's
Yeah.
no question, and we love supporting them, and we expect to win every night from them. Like that's just that's how they've made it. But for us, I feel like we do. Bixby, we have a really really good community, and we got younger kids that come to our games, and so they like watching us play. We get fans like especially Friday nights are better than Tuesday nights, but. They're definitely good atmospheres. They're definitely they're fun to play in. People show up. When our record's good, when their record's good. It's like anything. You win, they show up. But we got a good each night we have one of our younger teams. They get to give us high fives in the intros, and they get to play at halftime. So
Okay.
Their younger kids definitely come out, and so. But no, for sure. Playing here is something special. It always has been. So it's been really fun.
Okay. Another question I would have in regards to high school. So I got wind that at one point in time you were considering going to a prep school versus continuing to attend Bixby.
For sure, yeah.
What made you stay at Bixby?
Yeah, there was no doubt. Prep schools, you know how they are. They just hit you. They hit you. Want to come here. Want to come here. And for me, I've been at Bixby since kindergarten.
Okay.
All I know is Bixby, and my little brothers will play this year on the team. Like we'll play together is what I'm trying to say, and so I think that's something special. And Bixby's all I've known, and I want to kind of finish what I started. So
Okay.
it's definitely like going somewhere. Yeah, there's no question it would have developed me for college or whatever, but I'll be fine here. I mean, I don't worry about that, and I'm excited to play one last season here because this is I've been here my whole life, so why not finish what I started?
Being a kid from Oklahoma, us being known as a football state,
Right.
but we also have hoopers here as well.
Right.
How did that make you feel winning a 3-point contest in the Steph Curry camp?
Man, that was unbelievable. I got a call from one morning. I was sleeping, and I got a call from one of the Under Armour reps, and they were like, how you doing, blah, 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 and like, you've been invited to Steph's camp, and it's in 4 days. I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, like, congratulations, like, let me know who's coming with you, we'll get all your stuff. And so I go out there, and Steph is like, he's so humble, and going out there and being with Steph, I was a little surprised. He was there literally every second of every workout. He showed up to every dinner we had, and so like from a camp perspective, like it was unbelievable. We got to learn from Steph. We got like the workouts were really good. They weren't, it wasn't just go out there and play. It was go out there and learn from Steph. Pick his brain, see how he operates, and then there was every scout in the league was there. And we go through this drill, and it was pre-draft shooting workout basically, and it took me like 8.5 minutes to finish up, and I finished with the most, and obviously a bunch of different actions from different sides and different shots, and so I got the most, and it was pretty cool. I mean, I had confidence in myself that I would probably finish up there, and and then being able to like get a kind of a trophy-ish. It was a speaker, but really a trophy from Steph was kind of cool, and we really built that personal relationship out there.
Okay.
We talked 15 minutes one-on-one one day, about golf, about college, about how he's doing, and his expectations for this next year with the Warriors, and so he's super cool, like most humble guy in the league that I've met. But no, it was such a great experience, and now I'm talking to Steph a little bit on my phone, so
Okay.
I mean, that's just the type of dude he is. Like he'll text back, he'll call back. But no, it was great.
Okay. What is the up to this point in talking to Steph? What's the one thing that you learned, or the piece of advice he's giving you? Like,
Yeah, I'd say the biggest piece of advice he's given me is it's bigger than basketball. You kind of to my point earlier. He's like you want to build as many relationships as you can, because you never know who they know, but he's talked about like do something other than basketball. He's like go out and find what you want to do and find a balance, like because he's talking about how in the league you get in the middle of the season your body's just on autopilot, like you don't even know where you are, you're just showing up and playing, and he's like you got to have something to do, like you got to enjoy something other than basketball, and hang out with your friends, go do whatever. But I would say that's the biggest piece of advice. And on the basketball side, just it's two words. He just said keep shooting. Like and hearing that from him, I mean, you see nights he goes 0 for 13 or 14 for 16. Like it's just so hearing that from him. I mean, obviously, as being a shooter, you got to have that mindset. But I mean, I asked him like what would you tell me, like after this camp you saw me play, like what would you tell me? He just said never stop shooting. So.
Okay. So never stop shooting.
Never stop shooting.
Never stop shooting.
And like we, the last day we were on the same team, playing pickup, and I think I hit a 3, he hit 2 threes, and I hit 2 threes, like all back to back. So that was cool. And then he's like, he's like, you played just like me, like we're the same player. And he's like, you're even a little stronger than I was at 18. And I was like, okay. Wow. So
okay.
I mean, and I how it goes. I hear stuff about my body all the time, but to hear that from him, like who cares what people say? So.
Yeah. Speaking of strong, man, it was this guy by the name of Reggie Miller, right?
Okay, yeah.
Back with Indiana Pacers, and they always talked about how he wasn't very strong. Dude was like 6'7", like 180 pounds, but at the end of the day, like Reggie Miller got it done.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, like, both you and Steph remind me not necessarily a lot of Reggie, but as far as like body type, like
Yeah.
you don't look that strong, but then you get on the court, you be like, oh god dang, like,
Yeah.
look, that dude kind of strong.
Yeah,
you know.
doubt,
So
no doubt.
so
When I've heard that too, like that I play stronger than I look,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I mean, even Austin, what I was saying earlier, like he's put me through some like strength and performance stuff, which is like all basketball specific, and you know it really translates to the court. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not doing 400-pound deadlifts,
Yeah.
or you know, it's all basketball stuff, and you know, it's really helped me, and
yeah,
you know, so yeah, he's been. I mean, like I said, he's been a huge part of my success on and off the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, he played college basketball. He knows what it's like, and he knows like the mental aspect of it. And he's helped my body, and he's helped obviously my game tremendously. But yeah, so
Okay, to close this out, last question I have for you, because there's an old adage that says 90% of basketball or 90% of sports is mental and 10% is physical. What do you do to take care of the 90%?
I feel like I've been really good about having a balance. There is times I get so caught up in basketball, I feel like a robot, and like it's all I'm doing. But I love to play golf. I play golf all the time. It's summertime. I'll go swim a lot, hang out with friends at the pool. Go play mini golf or go to the movies, like something like go out to ice cream. I go get Brahms or Andy's 4 times a week it seems like. So like just go hang out with your friends. I realize it's my last year of high school, and I'm not going to school, but I'm still hanging out with people, and I'm still playing golf and hanging with friends, and so there's definitely a balance. Even like sometimes I'll come in here and hang out, like just turn the music on, bring a few people up here, and just kind of don't take it too serious. But I know I'm about to go to college somewhere and play, but you definitely and Steph told me the same thing. He's like, you gotta enjoy where you're at. Like you gotta want to be at the place you're at, and it's not all about basketball. He's like, and people call me one of the best, but he's like, I still find a balance. Like I'm not in the gym all the time. I go hang out with my family, go hang out with friends, go play golf, and so there's definitely a great balance that I found, and it'll stay that way.
Okay. What else is it that you want to tell the people of the Discover crowd, or anything else you want to say to close this out?
Not much. I would just say, especially for like younger players watching this, like don't stop. Like anything is possible. I mean, I've came a long way. I'm not done yet, but I would say just keep at it. Like you don't know where you'll be in 2 years, 3 years. So I would say to the people that support me, who are behind me and our team, and just thank you and keep supporting us. And we're gonna have a good year. We're excited. So yeah, and I want to thank you guys for having me.
Most definitely,
appreciate you guys.
Most definitely.
Sure.
At this time, I want to thank P5, a.k.a. Parker Friedrichsen. This is your boy, Chevis Miller, basketball scout, trainer, Discover Talk, Discover Podcast. We see you. Over and out.